All right, so now we're going to learn how to do box squats. Now what box squats are is basically you are squatting to something instead of just squatting in the air willy-nilly. So box squats are pretty straightforward, but I'm gonna just walk through it so we kind of know what we're looking for here. Easiest way to do this is by using a chair, especially if you're working out at home. Sometimes you don't have a weird step thingy like I have over there, but most people have chairs. So we're going to use this to start. I'm going to start by showing you from the side because I feel like that is the easiest way. And you're going to take whatever stance with your feet is comfortable for you. So that might be a little turned out, might be straightforward, might be a little wide, might be a little close together. You're going to do like a weird little dancey dance with your feet, trying to find where it feels the best for you. That's going to take some adjusting here. So keep in mind, you're going to have to experiment. So once you do the little dancey dance with your feet, you're just going to go ahead and think, push your hips back like you're at the top of a deadlift. Then you're going to bend your knees. Come down, try and tap the chair with your butt. Again, in slow motion, hips go back, then drop down. So I want you to think about this because very often people will think I'm going to bend my knees and that's how I'm going to get into a squat. And as you see here, that just means that you hurt your knees a lot, like it puts a lot of pressure on your knees, but you're actually not super close to this chair. So if you push your hips back, then squat, you'll feel a lot more comfortable here. Nice. And then as you stand up, I want you to think using your butt to kind of start the movement, but you may also feel your quads and the fronts of your thighs and maybe in the backs of your thighs a little bit. It's a movement that uses a lot of muscles. I'll show you from the front as well. So find your position with your feet. You can put your hands wherever is comfortable. Hips go back, then drop down, standing up tall. Things that I want you to look out for here is as you're standing up, try not to let your knees fall in towards each other. So you want to think almost pushing your knees out slightly, not like rolling onto the outsides of your feet, but just biasing your feet toward biasing your knees toward the outside. Go down and then come back up. Good, couple more times here. Awesome. Now, you'll notice that as you get better at this, you'll start out by feeling very robotic and strange and being like, and it will feel very weird. But as you get more comfortable doing this movement, this will start to smooth out and you'll start pushing your hips back and bending your knees in one fluid motion, which is the entirety of a squat. Now, if for whatever reason you are not able to reach the chair, that's totally fine. I'll show you what to do here. You can grab a pillow. In this case, I have a candy corn, so you're welcome. Sorry that I'm going to be squatting to you. Put a pillow on your chair and then squat to that. As you get stronger and more mobile, which are all things that we're going to be working on, you'll notice that you can start to squat lower and lower. You don't need to rush it though. You will get there in time as long as you keep doing these movements. Now, once you get to a point where the chair feels doable and you're able to do just so many squats, then you'll work on making the step lower and lower. So you may have a lower couch, a low table, something like that you can squat to. I'm going to be using this because this is what I have. Going to do the same thing, finding your position, hips go back, bend your knees until you squat down and until you tap the thing. Bend, squat, bend, and squat. Now, especially if you make a big jump, like between these two here, always use that pillow, squat to a pillow, because then you know basically what the heck you're doing. If you're squatting to a box and you're just like stopping somewhere, you may not know if you're all the way up here or you're just an inch away from it. So that's where the pillow comes in, just to kind of give you an idea of what the heck you're actually doing and where your body is in space. Because that's going to be really helpful, but that's something that you usually have to end up cultivating. It's not something that you know automatically. So this is a video, or this is one where I want you to take a form video, post it to the community forum so I can see it, and bring any questions that come up as you're doing this to the calls. A squat and a deadlift too are both very challenging movements. I don't expect you to get these right away. So if you need a little bit of time to practice them, join the club. We've all been there. I was squatting for a long time before I felt remotely good at it. So give yourself a break, Remember, this is something you're going to have to practice, and I'll talk to you soon.